We are live. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Josh Goldstein coming at you. I have a smile on my face today. I just got some great news in a case I was working on, and I'm feeling awesome about that. How's everybody doing out there? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you're doing amazing, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Today, we are talking about the March 2024 Visa Bulletin. Significant improvements in many areas for the March 2024 Visa Bulletin after so many months of disappointment. Let's get right into it. So, my primary focus is on family based immigration. So, we're going to be talking about those categories. If you have specific questions about a particular visa category or so on, let me know in the comments below. So, I think the best way to start our discussion about the Visa Bulletin is just to give you an overview of the way things work. So, if you're a US citizen or permanent resident and you file a visa petition for a family member, then the day you file your visa petition is known as your priority date. It says it on your application. That's what you need to know. The other important category is the country of chargeability. So, the way the US immigration law system works is China, India, Mexico, and the Philippines. Those countries are carved out and made to wait much longer than other people. So, is that fair or legal? I don't know. It is legal. It's the way our immigration system works. I hate to tell you that, but that's the way it is. So, uh, if you're stuck with that waiting time because of the visa bulletin system, there's not much you can do. You have to watch it each month and understand that things take time. Um, so let's take a look at the visa bulletin from February, and let's compare that with the visa bulletin in March. Okay, so let's start with let's start with where should we start? We'll start with F2A, spouses and children of permanent residents, all countries of chargeability. So in February, we were on September of 2023. Can you see that? September 2023. Maybe it's backwards. Let me know if you can see this. September of 2023. Now, when you go to March, where are you at? For F2A, you will be on September of 2023. So no improvements for F2A. F2A are spouses and children of US citizens. Okay. Now, here's someone says Fake ID Productions. I'm making a short film about my experience of the K1 visa. Would love your input. How can I reach you? Message me on LinkedIn. I mean, not LinkedIn, on Instagram or wherever you are. We'll go from there. So let's go to F2B. F2B are unmarried sons and daughters of permanent residents, 21 years or older. F2B for all countries of chargeability. We are on the 15th of October of 2015 for February. And in March, we are on January 1st, 2017. January 1st, 2017. There it is, right there. Is it backwards? I don't know if it is. But that jumped 2 years in 1 month. How about that? Brothers and sisters, F4 visas. Okay, let's take a look. All countries of chargeability. In February 2024, we were on the 22nd of May, 2007. And now in 1 month, we are on March 1st, 2008. So we improved only a couple of days in a year. So modest changes there. F3 are married sons and daughters of U.S. citizen. We compare it, F3, we compare February, we were at the 22nd of April, 2009. And now we are on, in March, we're on March 1st, 2010. So we jumped a year, a little more than about a year. So those are modest changes. Let's look at the final thing. We'll look at F1. Unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. We were on January 1st, 2015 in February, and on March 1st, we are on September 1st, 2017. So my overall impression of the March Visa Bulletin is that we show modest, very modest improvements. What do you think about the Visa Bulletin? Are you frustrated by it? Someone on TikTok is saying, what happened to F2B, FTB prior to February 2016? I'm not sure. Amy Maldonado, I want to sue the State Department. Who's with me? Amy is a crackerjack immigration lawyer, a fantastic lawyer, and a wonderful human being. I want to sue the Department of State, and I do sue them all the time. Amy, if you're listening, I should tell you that I'm going to make some more content about this, but I kicked some ass in federal court yesterday and destroyed the State Department's arguments in their motion to dismiss in open court. A lot of judges aren't sympathetic for this, but to these cases, but I did. Amy says the AB2 retrogress for the longest period ever. This is the first time this pattern has happened in 23 years. Retrogression for EB2. I don't like that. I haven't noticed that. I did not talk about family employment based, but I'm looking at it now. Let's see, November 2022, and I'm going up. Not that I doubt Amy. I'll have to take a more closer look at that. It has been retrogressed since December of 2022. Yeah, so there's no change. But I think the moment that I learned I was going to win in federal court was when the judge asked me one question. He said, "How old are your clients' children?" When the judge asked me how old my clients' children are, the age was 8. My clients' children are 8 years old. They're twins. These are school-age children. And when the judge asked me how old your children are, I knew that he gave a shit, that he cared about this family. And that question was all I needed to know that I was going to win the case. And it was very gratifying because not every case works out that way, to be honest. Sometimes the judges are not sympathetic at all. We have our friend Muzamil Ramati. Muzamil Ramati. He says, "Can you reply to me?" And here's his question. He says, "It shows ready. What does it mean? Please explain it. Is it a good sign? Thank you so much." So what you're doing is you're taking your case number from the State Department. You're putting it into the SEAC website to check the status of your case. And if it says ready, this is a good sign. Now, the SEAC website is a good source for information, but you can't really rely on it definitively. The only thing that matters is whether you have the visa in your hand. And it's wonderful when they say, "Oh, congratulations, you're ready. Your case is ready to be approved." That's great. But Muzamil, why are you crying in your picture? I did reply to you. I gave you good news. It looks like your case is close to being ready. So in other words, on SEAC, it's important to look at this website, but it doesn't matter until tears of joy. Yes, until you're approved. So there's that. What other questions do you have for me out there? Please, please, please let me know. We are here to help. I am here to answer any and all questions you have, or at least try to answer those questions. So here's a question from Nash Kazi. After the embassy takes your passport, how many months does it take to process the visa? Well, the fact that the embassy takes your passport doesn't have any indication, doesn't mean that you're going to get the visa. It doesn't mean that your visa is about to be issued. We've had cases where the embassies will take a passport and they'll sit on it for years. So I wish I could give you better news, but I don't think that it is a great, I mean, I hope you have success, but it doesn't mean that you're going to win. Now, who wants my thoughts on their case? Put them free case review if you put them in the comments below. Here's one from Marley McGibbon. Can you do a writ of mandamus for an I-765 that is 336 days of waiting? The answer is most definitely yes. You should not have to wait nearly a year to get a work permit renewed. So definitely we can do that. Here's a question from Zuo Bruno. I got an O1A 6 months ago and will be submitting an EB1A next week. Does having an O1A help? I think it does help because USCIS has the criteria for EB1A and O1A are similar, and it means that USCIS has reviewed your O1A case and given you a favorable determination. And I think that bodes well for an EB1A case. And if you need a referral to a very good lawyer who handles EB1A cases, then message me at joshua@jgoldlaw.com, and I can give you a referral to a great immigration lawyer who can help you handle these cases. Here's a Facebook user who says, I have premature twins, yet they put me in AP and gave me DS 5535 Islamabad Embassy, expedited case, no travel history, no job. That is very unfortunate. I'm sorry that this happened to you. The solution is to file a lawsuit. Sue them. Sue their asses in court, and don't put up with these prolonged delays. They tell you to wait and wait and wait. I don't like that. I don't think you should like it either. I wouldn't be happy about it. I would sue them. Let me know what questions this have. What questions you have. Here's a question from Emmy Keys Official. How long does it take for me to get my case to leave USCIS? Well, I don't really know exactly what you mean by that. I don't know what's going on with your case. I don't know what it means by get your case to leave USCIS. I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to think that your visa petition was approved and you want to get your case to move to the National Visa Center. Is that what you're talking about? Can you let me know in the comments? Here's a question from Nisha Purple Rain on TikTok. Question, do I have to fill out an I-90 after filing an I-751? The answer is no, you do not. Do not file an I-90 if you're filing an I-751. No. Here's a question from Ural B. Filed for an I-751 together, but now divorced. Is it possible to get my 10-year green card? Yes, but this is a case where you probably want to hire a lawyer. Filed together. So basically, to give you a snapshot of how it works, when you get a green card, typically you get a 2-year conditional green card. And at the end of the 2 years, you and your spouse together have to apply for to get a permanent green card. What happens if you're not together anymore? What happens if you're not together? If you're not together, you have to file for a waiver of the 2-year conditional of the joint filing requirement. And the waiver can be based on two factors. Number one, this is for you, URLB. Number one, you're divorced. You're no longer together. And number two, you entered into your marriage for good faith reasons. Muzamel Ramati, is there anyone to reply to me? Yes, I already replied to you. Your case was, it shows ready. What does it mean? Explain it to me. Is it a good sign? So if your case is ready, that is a good sign, but you can't celebrate. Don't celebrate until the visa is in your hand. Does that help? Here's a question from Instagram from Buraka Dogan. What are the disadvantages of a mandamus law? What is the downside of filing a mandamus lawsuit? Well, I think that most people, when they think about filing a mandamus lawsuit, I think that they are scared to file the lawsuit because they're afraid the government would retaliate against them. Does that make sense? Are you afraid of the government getting mad at you if you sue them? Most people are. And if you're afraid of the government suing you because they're going to retaliate against you, then you're not going to file the lawsuit, right? Muzamel says, yes, sir. So it's a good sign. I hope you can celebrate soon. But I guess the disadvantage of the lawsuit is the cost of filing it, which is considerable. But on the other hand, the cost of waiting is also high. And at some point, you just become so frustrated. You've been waiting so long. That's very frustrating. Muzamel did not get his answer correctly. Why not? You asked about your case being ready. What does it mean? I told you it was a good sign, but not to celebrate until it's in your hand. Let me know if you have follow-up questions. I hope that helps. Here's a good question from TikTok. How can I reverse a deportation order? This is really good. So there's a couple ways to do it. If you get a deportation order, you can appeal it and you can explain that the judge made the wrong decision. Excuse me. The second thing you can do is you can file a motion to reopen the deportation order. And the third thing you could do is you could say, okay, I want to get my green card, but I have a deportation order. So I'm going to apply for a green card, but I'm going to seek a waiver. So those are a few different options that you can do to help you overcome it. Here's a question from TikTok. What's going on with the I-601A? Are they going to process faster? I hope they are, but I don't think we have any news about how long it's going to take or what that's going to look like. Let me know what questions you have. Keep them coming. Here's a question from Anosh. What do you think about the visa bulletin for April for F2A? My husband's case is complete, but it's not current per the visa bulletin. I have a little girl and I'm pregnant now. Oh, that's tough. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope the April visa bulletin puts your case category current, but I don't know, and it's impossible to predict how long that would take. Here's a question from Geneva Rich. Are you going to answer my question? Now I'm going to scroll up on my phone, try and find his question. Can you repost your question? When to start a lawsuit against the State Department for administrative processing after a K-1 interview? I would say you should wait 5 months from when you had the visa interview before you do the lawsuit. And then we could file. It takes us about a month to prepare the lawsuit, and then you can file it at that point. When my VAWA is still pending, can I enroll in nursing school? I think you have to ask the nurse that. Any updates on the Dignity Act? So, the Dignity Act is a bipartisan, comprehensive immigration reform bill, and I can guarantee you that this is not going to pass. No way. Don't pay any attention to the Dignity Act. Of course, we want to stay informed, and it's probably a good idea to know what's going on, but I don't think you should put any hopes that Congress is going to pass a new immigration law in an election year. Um, I really don't. Muzamel, our friend, says the main applicant is refused. All other members are ready. How long does this take? Please reply to me. I think you have two choices, Muzamel. One is you can wait it out, which is what you're doing now. And the second is you can file a lawsuit. So SIV cases, yeah. Yeah, Anosh says I can't do anything, right? Only wait. I mean, I assume you would become a US citizen if you could. That's the other solution. How long do I need to wait after 221G to file a lawsuit? I would give it 5 months. I hope that helps. Okay, here's someone. Hey Josh, it's been 13 months after 13 months since 221G, 4 months past filing a lawsuit date. There's no update on 221G. What do you suggest? Trust the process. 4 months is a good amount of time for us to get a result for you. So I think that you probably will have a very good result soon. At least I hope so. Of course, nothing's guaranteed, and it's always you want to know that, but hopefully you'll be soon getting a decision. Um, Here's a good question. I'm a U.S. citizen. My parents overstayed their visas. I sponsored them. How long will it take to get approved? So if you're a U.S. citizen and you're over the age of 21 and your parents overstayed their visa in the U.S., then you might be able to apply for a green card in the U.S. through adjustment of status. The process takes about a year. Is this helping? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know. Let me know. How long are waivers taking to be approved at the moment? From Eduardo88 on TikTok. How long are waivers taking to get approved? Wow, that's an interesting question. I think it's going to take a long time. Matt Carlos asked me for a brief update on the visa bulletin because he missed it. I would say there is a slight but modest improvement from March 2024, from February of 2024 for employment-based categories. Here's a question. Josh, does immigration look at our Instagram page? I think they very well could. They very well could. So whatever content you have on there, you might want to clean it up. You know, I'm looking for questions here. Please let me know what questions you have. I'm here for you.